Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on just one second. I'm just going to fix it. Oh, you guys can hear me now? Great. All right. Welcome to the Newsbeat show. And I'm actually phenomenally excited today. Um, and I want to show you actually, it's so funny. We talk about all the bottom trades that we catch every day. I'm going to show you some trades I lost on, as well as some bottom trades, because we also call those as well. And why am I so ecstatic about these trades, and why am I so ecstatic and hopeful that the market is finally turning the corner and getting better? Well, this is how you evolve with the market. I'm going to talk about evolution today. Evolution is a very important thing. There's so many strategies out there that are being offered in the market, including by me. I use certain strategies, certain parameters, as you guys know, but unless you are following me for the last 5 years, 10 years, 11 years, I've been a broadcaster, it seems like forever. But unless you are really following me for a while, you would notice that I'm constantly evolving and changing. You're like, oh, Mark didn't do that 2 years ago. Mark definitely didn't do that 10 years ago. Oh, Mark is now focusing on news. He never did that before. And you're learning all these new things. Now, why is this important for you to make money? I'm going to talk about this just a little before I get into all my trades, is because simplicity never always works. There's always a simple strategy that works in the market. The unfortunate part is it keeps changing. Now, why is that unfortunate? Because it leaves it up to you, the trader, to try to figure it out. But that is the beautiful thing here. With what we do here at Newsbeat Live, we spend hours and hours between myself and my team figuring out what strategies are actually working today. Anybody can pull up a strategy that they like, whether they'll show you a candlestick formation they like, or maybe it'll be a simple strategy of, breaking out through candlesticks and buying through the top of a candlestick and, keeping your stop below the previous candlestick and see how far you could run those things up. And a lot of times those work for a lot of names, but the problem is they actually rarely work. So I actually went ahead and I did a statistical scan of just strictly the NASDAQ 100. So what I did was, it was kind of incredible. I actually did this today, and this is actually what got me excited, because some of my strategies were working like 50% today. And come on, my strategies work over 70% of the time. What's going on here? And it actually got me excited. So I was running a scan, and I basically took the entire NASDAQ 100. That is the weighting of the triple Qs, the 100 stocks that are weighted in the triple Qs, including Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and 90 plus others. And what I found today is this. On a day like today, if you took on the 1 minute, on every single 1 minute bar today, this is the beautiful axis that we have here. If you did 1 minute and you literally bought through the prior 1 minute high and you got stopped out through for the current or prior 1 minute low, basically seeing how fast you could ride it up, what percentage of your trades lost? Meaning, and by the way, we assume that your commission was zero. Which is, the funniest part about this. So, assuming that you have no commissions in the world, you can buy and sell shares for free. What percentage of your trades, if you bought through the prior 1 minute high and got stopped out through the prior 1 minute low, what have you made money on today on the NASDAQ 100? Anyone want to take a guess? We're assuming if you made a penny on a trade, even if you would have lost on commissions, I'm saying that you would have made money on that trade based on my current analysis. Alex, 30%. Ken, 92%. All right. If you actually use the prior 1 minute high to buy something on we're talking every single 1 minute bar from 9:30 to 4. Not a select group of them that you handpicked and chose. We're talking every single one. You ready? Alex, you are the winner. 27%. 27%. The charts aren't up. You don't see it? Try refreshing. Yeah, great guess, Alex. 27% you would have made money on if you did that. So I went over to the 5 minute chart and say, okay, how many on the 5 minute chart would have worked on the NASDAQ 100? 31%. Then I went to the 15-minute chart and said, how many of these names would have worked on the 15-minute chart? 32%. Ah, it's increasing. Now, how many of these names would have worked on the 30-minute chart? 34%. And how many trades would have actually worked on the 60-minute chart here? How many do you think would have worked on the 60-minute chart? You ready? 34%. Meaning, if you bought through a breakout of a candle and rode it as high as you could have done, considering you paid zero in commissions, which would make these numbers a lot lower, because some of these trades you were making like 5 cents, and it also assumed that there was no slippage, meaning that if a stock had a high of a candle at $50 and the stock went through $50 on the next candle, it assumed you actually bought at $50, not like 50.01 or 50.02 or 50.10 or 50.05, meaning it is a failing strategy. That is the whole point I'm making. It's a failing strategy. So I went ahead and I said, all right, let's try my 5-minute exponential 8 theory. How often has it worked this year? Not on the NASDAQ 100, but on every single news name I threw out. Considering that you only did one touch, which is my methodology, 81% successful. Now I took that 5-minute strategy and I said, what if I just did the same thing and took every single name in the triple Qs for the entire year? For the entire year. I'm doing it since January 1st. So just so we're perfectly clear on my time frame. So 81% if I integrate the news flow I like with my methodology and then use the level, 81%, that's 4 out of 5. That's better than 4 out of 5. But how much is it working if I just throw that strategy at every single name without the news? Anyone want to guess? It assumes you bought exactly where the exponential 8 hit, which isn't my methodology because I like to buy low below it. And then it assumes that you have a stop at the bottom of the next 5-minute candle, or that 5-minute candle that bottomed out there after it closes. What percentage of the time? 46%. Not good. So using my simple technical analysis while removing the news works 46% of the time. You add the news flow and all of a sudden I'm up to 81%. Do you see a problem with being a strict technical analyst? And you know how you make money, making money 46% of the time? You have a ton of psychological toxicity, builds up like plaque inside your arteries, and you're trying to make money. So my technical analysis on just an exponential 8, on my trend lines, it's actually over 76% regardless of news or not. I don't want to talk about that. So we were running the test today. We're running the back test since January 1st. And these back testing tools are expensive as all you know what. I mean, I didn't have to pay for them because fortunately I know the people who own them and they, did me a favor and ran these numbers for me. But the point I'm trying to make is integrating news flow into your strategy was critical to making money. Now I'm going to finally pair this off one more time. What percentage of the trades do you think today, if I used a 1-minute exponential 8 on every single name that had positive news and negative news in the market, keeping an extremely tight risk, and the tight risk was 0.5% as a stop? What percentage of the trades did you make? I'll repeat it. What percentage of the trades, not for the year, today, would have you made money on a 1-minute exponential 8 if you bought it when it hit for the first time on positive news, considering it gapped above it? And how many times if you shorted it on negative news, if you gapped below it and then came up and hit it? What percentage of the time did you make money today? Any guesses? All right. 93%. 93%. Kind of incredible that you would have made money 93% of the time. Um, hmm. Just curious. Are you guys are unable to see my charts because now I want to actually show you how it worked in real time and actually how we grew from here. Um, okay. Are unable to see my charts because now I want to actually show you. All right. So it's actually working. It's actually working. So if you guys can actually hold on. I'm just going to redirect you guys. It's on YouTube and Facebook, but I'm going to redirect you to T3 Live's Facebook. For whatever reason, I don't want to stop the video and cut it and start over again. I'm just going to so what I'm going to do here. It's on YouTube and Facebook, but it's right over here. So if you can ask me questions in chat, but you could go ahead to that link right there if you want to listen to it. It might be T3 servers are obviously much quicker. So here's the funny thing that I learned. And I'm running more of these tests, is that strict technical analysis sucks. You want to try some gimmick, you want to try some trick, you want to try some candlestick trick, you want to try what I'm doing on an exponential 8 while cutting out and gutting out the news flow aspect of it, and you'll be right less than 50% of the time. It's nothing personal against me or anyone else. It's a mathematical fact. What I'm telling you is not an opinion. It's not what you think. I'm not saying you can't make money making money 30% of the time chasing a candlestick up, seeing how far it goes before it stops you out. I'm not saying you can't make money on that. Maybe one of them you rode for $20 in profit and the other one you lost 50 cents. And maybe you had an equal share amount on both of them, and that's great. And everything would actually work in terms of that, right? That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about people who are not integrating news flow into their strategies are failing. Now, let's talk about the trades I made on and lost on today. So I think these are very important. So first trade I was watching today was Intel, right? When Intel was pulling back, that's actually yesterday. Here's Intel today. When Intel was pulling back, I said a break of 53.38, and you could buy Intel for a long. And this is what happened here in Intel. You pulled back, you hit 53.35, and then bounced to 53.79. Came all the way back down, hit 53.34, and then bounced all the way to 54.35. So really, I actually didn't trade this one today, but a lot of people in the room caught it and did well. Great job. So I mean, I'm a real trader. Sometimes I miss these trades, right? So I was a little bit flustered. It was kind of interesting because I really had the dead bottom call in Intel pretty damn perfectly, yet I didn't take the trade. So I was a little, I wasn't feeling so good after that. I really wasn't. I was like, oh, God, that was such a great call, Mark. I should have been part of that. I mean, I watched the calls go up 50% in 20 minutes. I was like, oh, God, why me? And that's how I felt this morning. So that was first. But why am I still so excited? Because actually, let me show you what was happening on the 1 minute. So Juniper was a stock I lost on today. It went through $24 here. I bought puts. It had negative news, by the way. I think it was a downgrade to sell at Goldman Sachs. Remember when I told you that Goldman Sachs, what I really feel they do well is not being an analyst side anymore. And some analysts there are good, but for the most part, they're a black box firm. It's kind of funny. People think of them as like a bank even, which is even funnier because officially they're classified as one. I watched the breakout here through the 5-minute exponential 8. I bought puts. I watched Juniper go all the way up into the 2420s, and I took a loss on my puts, and I closed out for a loss. But remember what I was just telling you, over 90% on the 1 minute today? What if we took this 5-minute chart? I know everybody likes to really say that you should take a 5-minute chart and go to 15 and keep raising the time frames. What if we lowered it? Stick with me here for a moment. What if we lowered it? Is it true that all Mark's news names and every news name out there today would have worked over 90% of the time on the 1 minute? You're damn right it did. Here's where the 1 minute hit for the first time today on Juniper. It hit 23.87 right over there. Had a high of 23.89, got as high as 23.92, went maximum 5 cents against you if you got the worst price. Probably better if you shorted above it, which we usually do. And from 23.92, this is a 1 minute chart. From 23.92, it basically in the next 15 minutes went to 23.61. The puts exploded in value. Crazy, right? First Solar was a name I lost on today. Check this out. Positive news, big upgrade. I liked it. Flushed right here through the exponential 8. I bought calls. Some of you guys actually held and made money, which, again, I have nothing but respect for that. I ended up selling out here when it was at like 77.10 over here because they saw it not coming back up. Then it actually went like about 30, 40, 50 cents lower afterwards and then bounced all the way back up to day highs. So this is a trade I lost on today. But what if I applied what we just talked about on the one? This is a 5 minute chart. What if I pointed out what worked on the 1 minute? Let's see. When was the first 1 minute test today for First Solar? Oh, at 75.20 at 9:37 a.m. If you bought at 9:37 a.m. based off my methodology on the 1 minute, you would have watched First Solar jump up $1.80 in your face for you in 5 minutes. Heavens forbid you waited 10 minutes, it would have gone another 60 cents. Heavens forbid you waited another 4 minutes, it got to 78.23 for a $3 bounce in a matter of 13 minutes. That's a 1 minute. Now, you want to talk why adjusting to the market and evolving in the market is so important? I didn't even look at all my other names. Let's look at Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree, I actually called this one correctly. Actually, no. I actually ended up ignoring this one. Let me see. Just double check. I want to just see my trades positions. No, I actually didn't trade this one. But this was one of the names that I was keeping on my list. Again, and we have all these names that I'm talking about now, by the way, right over here. Like, this is what our morning game plan looked like. This is what you see at 9 o'clock. You see the First Solar, the Citrix, the Intel, Facebook downgrade, Juniper downgrade. So I'm trading these names already based on news. Just keep that in mind. They're not just random names in which I pulled up a chart and me telling you what you could have done in hindsight without me trading them. So this one I didn't trade when it pulled back on the 5. But let's look at the 1 minute. Let's look at the 1 minute. Was it tradable off the 1 minute? And the answer is probably not. Probably not. You probably would have broke even on a trade like this because it didn't really bounce off the 1 minute. You didn't really get crushed either. Just you gave it time and it just didn't work, and you probably bought in the 101.30 range and it got to 101.50. I don't consider that a winning trade or a losing trade, and then it eventually grinded down. So in this case, it actually wouldn't have worked. How about Facebook? How about Facebook? Facebook shot up here. We called it in real time. This is another one I missed because you shot through the exponential 8 in the pivot point on the 1 minute. And then from 9:37 to 10:15, 38 minutes, you went from 168.12 to 165.77 in Facebook. I'm not saying you caught that whole range. I'm just showing you how the strategy works really well on the 1 minute. Let's see. So we looked at Facebook. We looked at Dollar Tree. We looked at Juniper. How about this one? I didn't trade because the options sucked. Here's Zayo on the 1 minute. Oh, hits the exponential 8 right over here on the 1 minute at 9:40. Oh, look, pops right through day highs. That's a successful trade. That's a trade that's easy to make money on. In this case, you would have had to take in shares. How about Citrix, another name on my radar today? So what happened with Citrix is you put in a big tail and you had like 3,000 shares. So this one would have been an ignore. Even though if you did buy it when it flushed down here, you would have been mostly up money through the entire day. I ignored this one early and I said I wasn't going to trade it because when you opened up, you had like almost no volume. I mean, you have a 1 minute candle here with 0 shares, another 1 minute candle here with 200 shares, the next 1 minute candle with 400 shares. So that's when I just say if the volume is just awful, I just ignore it. IBM. You want to short IBM today? Announced earnings. hit the 1 minute exponential 8 right over here, and then grinded down $1 in 4 or 5 minutes, more than $1.30 in 4 or 5 minutes. That's a winning trade. Doesn't look like much here, and yeah, went up a little, down a little, and then it grinded even much lower. But going from 150 to 150.26, $1.24 lower in 5 minutes is a successful trade. That's a very easy trade to make money on. Yeah, stock drops $1 plus in your face, whether you call it 50 cents or $1 or more. Very easy trade. So what is the point I'm making here today? The point I'm making here is when the market gaps up, which it looks like it's doing so tomorrow, so far, short of anything magical happening, you're up 44 cents, we're going to have a buying opportunity in the market. And why am I saying evolve? What is the point when I say evolve and how to benefit from losing trades? My losing days actually don't look that bad. My losing days are usually $100, $200. When I'm right, I try to make 30 to 100 times more that. So everything in this market is about risk reward. So when I'm saying how to benefit from losing trades, it was very important today that I looked at these trades and that I ran this back test and I really tried to figure out in this bullish market what's working. So I come to you and I did my back test data after 4 o'clock today, and I ran the numbers through the machine. Well, actually my friend did, but we were on the phone the entire time working together, and I came out with these numbers for you. Technical strategies are not working in this market alone. Strict technicals, meaning, look, you wanted to buy something this morning and swing it throughout the whole afternoon, you probably made money, right? You probably made money. You took an Amazon? Awesome. Awesome. You took one of these big names where the Qs go up? Awesome. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people who are sitting there reading a chart, trying to make quick intraday trades with potentially swinging them intraday or potentially chucking them fast. And that's the type of information I wanted to share with you. So when you go out there and you hear somebody talking about a technical strategy that's really working in this market, no, there are infinite number of technical strategies on the planet. There are infinite number of them. There are an infinite number of methodologies, filters, things that you could combine together to work in certain market conditions. For example, me, I have a scientific method with positive news combined with volume, combined with, certain things, and I correlate that together for a winning trade. And I'm not trading any small cap garbage. I'm calling the bottoms in thicker names, things like that. That's what I'm trying to call the bottom in. But if somebody comes to you with a strict technical strategy, I'm not saying there's no way to make money off that. What I am saying is prepare for a swing. And by a swing, I don't mean the thing you go on and sit down on outside and wave back and forth in the wind. I mean your P&L. Prepare for your P&L to swing. Market grinds slowly up today, and you're up money, and you're up more money, you're up more money, you're up more money. Beautiful. Even better. But strict technical strategies do not produce consistency in any market unless you can combine dozens and dozens and dozens of them working together at the same time as a robot would do, which you as a human being will never be able to do. If you have an algorithm that says, look for these 50 parameters, and if they all come in through, green light, hit it, go, you're good. You're fine. Yeah, technical strategies will work. But as a human being looking at a chart, you're going to struggle. The easiest way to get that additional edge is to combine news flow into whatever name you're trading. Going to our game plan, Amazon. Why not? They have over 100 million Amazon Prime members. I love Amazon Prime. It's awesome. Beautiful, beautiful bullish doji, as we call it here. I mean, again, I don't think any textbook would actually refer to it as I do here. This is a bullish doji sandwich. I did not make up the terminology. Just paying credence to the person who founded that name. And this is a bullish doji sandwich, which means since Amazon is gapping up tomorrow, right? It's up $27 right now. Since Amazon is gapping up tomorrow, you have an extremely high probability that you might take out all-time highs tomorrow. I know that sounds stupid. I know that sounds crazy. I know I'm insinuating that Amazon could be up $90 tomorrow. It depends on the analyst, it depends on the market, but there is a chance, a logical enough chance where we could talk about that. I'll put it that way. Hence my trigger on Amazon, $1,575.97. You guys want a little crapper name that shot through the roof today? Okay. Let's talk about oil, which has been just absolutely phenomenally strong. And of course, let's talk about Seadrill, which broke out of major descending resistance today. A bunch of moving averages, including the 200. I'm looking for Seadrill to potentially break 42 cents tomorrow. It's not doing anything after hours at the moment. It's flat. Maybe Seadrill breaks 42 cents tomorrow. If it pulls back, look for a pullback level of 33 cents. With more news, more excitement, more flow, I was actually getting filled on some Forex trades. Just so you want, if you are really still interested in my Forex trades, and like this I really need to know, because from now on I'm going to have a disclaimer behind everything. Obviously it's the same disclaimer as before, that it's only for educational purposes only. Like everything you see on this Forex site is for educational purposes only. It happens to be a screenshot of the live trading software that I'm in right now, and I just take a small little snippet out of it and I screenshot it. The top trades are trades that got filled. So the top 3 trades are trades I gave yesterday that actually got filled today, and they're still open. They still didn't hit my stop loss or take profit level, but they hit my entry point. So I have 2 longs and a short right now. Underneath the gray line here, you have my new orders of the day, and as you could see, obviously it uses like some weird, I don't even know what time zone that is. The company is located in Ireland, but here are my buy orders. Here's my size, here's my symbol, here's my price, here's my stop loss, here's my take profit. You guys are more than welcome to use this for educational purposes only, and again, you can do whatever you please with them after that. So with that being said, if you are still interested in the Forex trades, because I'm honestly thinking of stopping them. I don't know what kind of value and what kind of how many people out there really look forward to seeing them every night. So if you are still interested, in receiving the Forex trades, it has nothing to do with the game plan. Usually comes together. If you are interested in the Forex trades, make sure you shoot me over an email, mark.melnick@t3live.com. If you're not interested, you could even email me and say, no, I don't really use it, but thank you anyway. Or you could just simply not email me, which would be easier, and I'll just already know that you're not interested in that. So I'm trying to see how many people are interested indeed in the Forex side of things. I know we don't talk about it much. I'm just basically throwing live orders out 5 days a week and just basically sharing them with the public. And again, if that's not valuable to you, I hear you. If it's extremely valuable to you and you really look forward to it, email me, mark.melnick@t3live.com, and just let me know that you feel that way, and then I'll make a decision if I'm going to continue it or not. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our full stock analysis. That is for Newsbeat Live members only. We do a lot of phenomenal things on an everyday basis. I'm really excited about the action here, and I'm really excited about trading, and I'm really excited to really give you guys real-time bottoms and real-time sexy entries, if you will, into the market, as well as really great news flow. It's always my pleasure serving you guys in the Newsbeat Live community, as well as you listeners here on the Newsbeat Show. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We are the fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat Live and the Newsbeat Show. Have a wonderful evening.